Welcome to Ray Reads, a podcast where I talk about the books I'm currently reading like I'm in a sad little one-man book club. For this episode of Ray Reads, I will be discussing Trickster's Choice by Tamora Pierce. As a child, I had loved Tamora Pierce books. These stories largely shaped me as a reader and fostered my admiration for fantasy and adventure. I must have been perhaps 14 years old when I last picked up a Tamora Pierce book. Reading Trickster's Choice now as an adult, I still enjoyed it, but I am much more critical of the book. The biggest problem I have with this book is how it handles racism and colonialism. The author herself and some of the characters, like Winnemine and Allie, seem unintentionally racist. Though through Allie, Tamora Pierce describes the Raka hostler as having a monkey-like face multiple times. Maybe it isn't a big deal, but I think it should be common decency to not call other people's appearance monkey-like, especially in reference to people of color, as it harkens to racist propaganda. Even the more tolerant white Lauren characters make racist comments. Duchess Winnemine remarks that she does not want her stepdaughters, who are half Raka, to fight and act like Raka Highland savages, implying their inferiority and lack of civilization. And when it comes to racial tension upon the eventual ascension of a half Raka queen, Allie is only concerned with how the Raka people will discriminate against the Laurens. She berates the Raka mage, Ochobu, for hating all Laurens for being the oppressors of her people. She dogs the Raka over how she thinks they will mistreat the Lauren when they rise back to power. But Allie never addresses how the Raka are currently being mistreated and abused. When Branau travels through the Raka villages with the Balatangs, he makes several racist comments and offends the people. Allie is merely concerned with how the Raka people may retaliate. She expresses no outrage at this, like Sari does. I wish Sarai had chapters from her point of view in this book. I believe that the lack of Sarai's perspective truly hinders this story. If we can briefly see through George and Winnemine's eyes at the beginning and end, then we most certainly could have had more time for other characters' point of view, not just Allie's. With Sarai and even Dove, they could have provided the tale with the action it is missing. For instance, the short fight with the bandits could have been from the noble girl's perspective, with how they armed themselves and actually witnessed the small battle, while Allie cowered in the wagon with the small children. And I would have liked to experience Sarai's clandestine meetings with Branau through her, rather than Allie's spying. As a reader, I want to live in the moment of the story. The problem I have with Allie's point of view is being forced into the role of a mere observer. Obviously, it is logical that Allie, who dreams of working as a field spy, would focus most of her attention to watching the action play out. And while this works for her character, it detracts from the story overall. there is very little action. And to pair that with how few obstacles Allie faces, the story can be a little boring at times. I really hate how simple everything is for Allie. The trickster god, Kyprios, does all of the hard work for Allie. As a spy, she needs to learn how to earn people's trust on her own. She should have been the one to convince the Duke and Duchess, Chenal and Ochubu, to rely on her. Allie is seeking a challenge, but she's still playing Little League. It would have been interesting to see how cleverly she could have won over all of these different people. I would argue that Allie does not face any true challenges on her mission to protect the Balatang girls. She uncovers the other spies in the household with ease. All of these other spies are amateurs who carry around their code books since they have not memorized them like Allie has. Allie was trained well by her family, so this wager is a walk in the park for her. It is interesting how strongly Allie's parents oppose her choice to pursue a career as a spy. George practically raised his daughter from birth to become a spy by gifting her code and spy training books on her birthdays and having her work alongside him deciphering messages for his spy network. Her father fostered this desire in her, so it is strange that George and Alana are shocked and appalled by her decision to become a field agent. I can understand why they would be fearful of Allie falling into the enemy's clutches and being used as leverage against them or tortured for information, though. While Allie mostly takes after her father, Sarai Balatang is noted to be similar to her deceased mother, Sarugani. They both are passionate women who share a love for reckless horseback riding. Ulasim comments that he believes that the young lady is better than her mother was because Sarugani was more heart than head. At first, I thought that Sarai was no different from her mother in this regard. When the bandits were captured after their attack on the moving Balatang household, Sarai pled for mercy on their behalf. She spoke from her heart, but she had offered no solution to the problem that came with sparing their lives. Between the two sisters, Dove is the brains. She provided the solution with her suggestion of having the bandits take blood oaths. The credit for this was wrongfully assigned to Sarai as the center of attention. It wasn't until after Braunau's dire financial status was revealed that I started to agree that Sarai may indeed be more head than heart. While Braunau attempted to manipulate her with his over-the-top romantic gestures, Sarai did do her best to keep her wits about her. The only person truly falling head over heels here is the reluctant Allie. Am I the only person a little weirded out by how Allie has a crush on a crow? Allie is the type of girl who goes through boys for the fun of it, always getting bored and then moving on to the next. I mean, it is sweet how she falls for this crow-turned boy, but I cannot see this crush making way for a long-term relationship between them. Nawat follows Allie around like a lovesick puppy. I do not think of Allie as a person who desires to be worshipped by someone like Nawat. I really just think it is strange how quickly she developed a crush on Nawat. He had only been a human boy for a short period of time before Allie started wanting to monopolize his time and have him all to herself. The last thing I want to talk about here is Kibrioth, the trickster god himself. Upon King Oron's deathbed, the trickster god reveals a prophecy to illuminate the return of the great monarch. Allie thinks this is in reference to Sarai as the proclaimed twice royal queen. It seems more likely that Kibrioth is proclaiming his own return to power. I hope that in the sequel, Kibrioth will live up to his reputation as a no-good trickster. All in all, this book was okay. I think I might try rereading Tamora Pierce's series on Alana the Lioness to decide if her books are truly worthwhile. Perhaps if I relinquish my nostalgia, Tamora Pierce may be another author that I've outgrown.